Hello, I'm the Rogue Duelist, and these are my top picks of the most underrated cards of the Dawn of Destiny mini box. For our first one, we got Anti-Magic Prism. It is a counter to quick play spell cards, which are increasingly prevalent and are only going to get more prevalent in the game as time goes on. Now, it seems to be my estimation that 90% of all meta decks run enemy controller. 2 or more at least, I mean, come on. And this card feels really satisfying to pull off against it. I'll tell you what. It punishes your opponent for thinking they have the advantage here when they have some sort of defensive option like any of these, or if they try to go aggressive, as long as they have an established board. Which, of course, the one downside is that if your opponent doesn't have an established board, it's going to be hard to use Anti-Magic Prism, and it's a terrible top deck. But if you have like 2 of these in a deck, and you start with it in your opening hand, it might just win you the match if your opponent activates a Super Rush Headlong, and then you just take out their monster that way. Next, we have the Chaos Command Magician. You might recognize this card as a card trader card that was garbage. It's unaffected by monster effects, but being an awkward level 6 that you can't easily summon without tributing, and having a weak baseline of only 2400, it's okay, but it's not the greatest. Being untargeted, you can't target it with monster cards, means that you can't even target it with monster cards if it's your own monster. And there's not a lot of monster cards in the game currently that can destroy cards or do anything really significant to other monsters. But we got one card that does this card's job and more, and that's the Hazy Flame Hippogriff. This card, phenomenal card. It's unaffected only by your opponent's monster, spell, and trap card effects. So this makes it immune to a lot of different targeting. It also includes any equipped spell that your opponent tries to put on it is going to work. So, but then that leaves its awkward level 6 nature, which means you're going to want to run this card, the Thing in the Crater. Gives great synergy with this card because if the Thing in the Crater is destroyed by battle or card effect, whether it's you destroying it yourself or not, your opponent destroys it in battle or whatever, you're able to special summon this card from your hand. That's some great ice synergy in my book. Plus, if you happen to be running other fire monsters, you can increase this guy's attack by 300 for tributing 1. That's okay. Unfortunately, it has a very low defense, and just like the Chaos Command Magician, is susceptible to a Sphere Kuriboh. But, hey, you got a lot of other things that it helps counter against. Now, for my personal pick of the probably my favorite card out of this set, to all of them, Fire King Island. This card has great potential, and mark my words, it's going to get better as the game goes on in Duel Links. As the meta develops and new cards are added, this card is going to be very effective. This is a very good investment. Only a rare, which, by the way, all of these cards that I've mentioned have only been rares. Only a rare in this pack. This card has 2 effects. The second one that a lot of people use in the Fire King Nephthys, the Sacred Phoenix Nephthys decks, is that it's going to be able to special summon a Wing Beast fire monster from your hand. That's okay, as long as you have no monsters anyways. That's okay. It helps establish your boards. It's alright. Now the second effect is the reason why I am completely in love with this card, is that you can destroy a monster on your hand, in your hand, or on your side of the field to search a Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. Now that's some really great searching power, but the thing is that that's hand destruction, and hand destruction is really great in this game, in Yu-Gi-Oh! There are a lot of cards that would love to absolutely be destroyed, and there's plenty of them that do not care if they are on the field or in the hand when they're destroyed. Point being, Baby Sarasaurus. And now I've got a great combo I want to show off. Now you see, if Baby Sarasaurus is destroyed, in the hand or on the field by card effect, it can special summon a dinosaur, a level 4 lower dinosaur monster from your deck. Now, what I use is Element Ceresaurus here. And Elementsaurus uh, increases an attack by 500 if there's a fire monster on the field. Now, not only do you get to special summon the Elementsaurus for free, you get to add the Fire King monster from your deck to your hand and normal summon that, and now you've got 3,800 damage on board. You've plussed one. You've gotten one additional card in your hand than when you started, and it's a very easy combo, really only needing 2 cards. And like I was saying before, hand destruction only is going to get better over time in this game, because in the real Yu-Gi-Oh card game, you've got archetypes like Yang Zing and True Kings that absolutely revolve around destroying cards. And you've got even just one-off cards like Vortex Trooper that want to be destroyed. And I feel like they're gonna be adding stuff into the game. If Duel Links is going to reflect the actual card game in any way, shape, or form, we're going to be seeing destruction play a big role into the metagame as the game moves forward. And this card is probably never going to be power crept in the Duel Links, because the card that power crept Fire King Island was Dragonic Diagram, because it doesn't have that downside that if the card is destroyed, the field spell, then it blows up all your monsters. Dragonic Diagram is part of the True King archetype, and if anyone plays the TCG or the OCG, you know what this card is. It's a very meta card. I don't see it ever being put into Duel Links, so I feel like Fire King Island's going to be around for a long time, as long as we get those cards, like I say. Well, this was all my opinion, anyways. Leave your own opinion for the most underrated cards out of the Dawn of Destiny in the comment section below. Have a good day.